Hello everyone, this is Highlander from MTG Cardsmith doing another custom Magic the Gathering card review. This is another card by TGBCGakurenZelthorn, the man with the long name, and this is from his set called Earth, where the idea is that Earth is now a plane. Um, so, if you haven't watched my previous videos, please do so. It's important. I think it's important that you watch these set reviews in order because I tend to uh, I tend to say things for the earlier cards that will probably get skipped over for the following cards, things that apply to the entire set or to design choices or whatnot. So the first card is called Miku Warsinger, so check that one out first. Anyway, let's see what we got here. This card is called Russian Winter. Okay, this is the first one that we've seen that actually feels Earth-like. I mean, the other ones so far have been, they could kind of be from any plane. But this one actually says Russian Winter, so cool. This is a double X, double blue. Excuse me. Instant. Tap X creatures your opponents control. Those creatures do not untap during their controller's next untap step. Great. Okay, it's a perfectly fine Magic card. So you pay 4, you tap 1 creature. You pay 6, you tap 2 creatures. You pay 8, you tap 3 creatures. Okay. Unlike your previous cards, I think this card is actually a little underpowered. Now, this card is flexible, so that's worth considering, right? But and it's also instant, which is nice. But let's take a look at some similar cards. I'm kind of seeing a pattern here. It seems like you maybe are a little unsure how much to cost your cards. So a suggestion I would make is look for similar existing Magic cards that do similar things, and kind of try to figure out your cost based on that. So let's do that now. One card I can think of is Sleep. Okay. Oh boy, I hate when this happens. There's literally just a card called Sleep. There it is. Okay. Now Sleep taps all creatures target player controls. Those creatures don't untap during that player's untap step. Now, this is a sorcery, so we have to keep that in mind, right? I mean, this is an instant effect. Instant version of this effect is much more powerful than the sorcery version. However, you'll note that this is an uncommon. It costs 4 mana, and it taps everything, right? Whereas this you have to pay 4 mana to tap one thing. So let's take another look. Let's find a card, Chilling something, right? Chilling whatever, doesn't matter. Chilling Grasp. This one has Madness. Okay, this one says tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures don't untap during the controller's next untap step, and it has Madness. This is an uncommon. So this is 3 mana to tap 2 creatures, right? Whereas in order to tap 2 creatures with this one, you need to pay 6, which is basically like casting 2 Chilling Grasps. So in which case you would end up getting 4 tappers, right? There's also similarly costed effects like this that, tap a single creature and draw a card, for example, right? So I think your costing is pretty high. Again, you do have to keep in mind that this card is flexible and therefore should be more expensive than the non-flexible versions, right? But I think you could, especially since this is a rare, I think you could probably cost this let's think of a couple scenarios. So let's say this was single blue double X. It would be 3 mana to tap 1 creature, which seems on par for 3 mana, because usually these 3 mana taps that don't untap have an additional effect. Again, this one has Madness. Some of them say draw a card. This one actually taps 2 creatures. What's the other one? Like Breath of Winter or something? There's so many of these effects. Oh, I guess not. Winter. I thought there was one where like some giant was like blowing cold air or something. I mean, here, check it out. Queen of Ice, you could pay 2 to do just this effect, right? Anyway, so if this was double X blue, it would be 3 for 1 creature. It would be 5 for 2 creatures. It would be 7 for 3 creatures. That's like all right. That still seems a little high, and well, the first one's not that high. Um, let's see. I really want to like tap. Hold on. Text. Tap creature. This is your opponent controls. How did okay. Clearly, let's just look for. Okay, whatever. I'm done with this. Clearly, this is harder than I thought. But um, again, this is also a rare, so usually when you go up a rarity, you can sort of increase the power a little bit. So I would say if this cost XX blue, you can probably tack on an extra little effect here, like Scry X, for example. Might be a nice one, right? Just a nice little effect. I guess that doesn't really make a lot of sense for Russian Winter, but you get the point I'm trying to make, right? The other thing is, if this was like double blue X, again, it would cost 3 for 1. It would cost 4 for 2, 5 for 3. Sorry, my headphones cut out there. 6 for 4, etc., etc. That seems like it's maybe a little bit. Sorry about that. That seems like it's maybe a little bit costed too well, because that tends to be on par with most of the other effects. But again, it's a rare, so it wouldn't really bother me that much, to be honest, if you did that. If you cost this double blue X. I mean, if you wanted to be a little careful, you could maybe cost it like triple blue X or something like that. Or anyway, so that's sort of my very long-winded way of saying, like, this is kind of how you think about how to cost these things, right? Um, so that being said, I like this card. It's cool. I like that it's flexible. It's not particularly unique, as you saw. I mean, we've seen a lot of effects like this throughout Magic. I don't know if I've seen one with an X in the cost. Maybe there exists one, maybe there doesn't. I'm not sure. One other little nitpick about this card is the formatting, which I've talked to you about before. Usually, when you have this little text, you want to center it so that this text kind of gets pulled down here, so that it's kind of like centered right there. Sometimes it doesn't look great with cards with very little wording, so I would say throw some flavor text in there, man. That really helps with your the look and feel of a card, right? And you can do all kinds of stuff with flavor text. You can make jokes. You can help explain the flavor of things. I mean, in this case, you don't need to explain the flavor of Russian Winter. It's probably a very cold flavor, but you get what I'm saying. It's a nice way to fill out your card without, to make it like look nicer. So anyway, I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5. It has a couple issues. The cost I mentioned, it's not super unique, and the formatting. But I do believe this is a perfectly fine Magic card, and so far it's my favorite of the ones I've seen. So thank you for watching.